Quick PSA. This is not a guide on how to use DaVinci Resolve. This is a guide on how to make shorts. With that being said, let's get into it. Right now, you're going to see this area that says no clips and media pool. That's because we have no content. But before we can make the content, we need to make a timeline. So let's right click timelines and create new timeline. In here, you'll see a start time code, your timeline name, number of video tracks, audio tracks, options. You can, if you want to, change the timeline name, but you don't need to. What you are going to do, right click, use project settings. This is going to open up more options. And the one you're going to want outside of format, monitor, output, color is format. You'll see 1920 by 1080p resolution. You can change it to whatever you want in your desire, but for shorts, it's vertical resolution. Fortunately for us, DaVinci has an option that allows us to flip your resolution, because that's what it means to be vertical. So click it, and it will go to 1080p by 1920. Now you're ready to create a short. All you have to do is click create, and you have your timeline ready to go. All that's left is to import our content. Now that we're ready to import our content, let's do that now. So we're going to go up to File, Import, Media, which is Control I on your keyboard. And I already have something prepared. This is from the stream from yesterday, the day before this recording. We're going to import it in, and all we have to do now is drop it into our timeline. And we're ready to start making shorts. Now that I have everything ready to go, all I have to do now is go down to this cruiser and scroll, seek, and get to the destination or find something that I feel as though that I'd be comfortable with to make a short. And I'm going to skip ahead. Okay, I found the spot that I wanted. So now what I'm going to do is, just so that way I get better visibility, I'm going to go here, going to lift this up, get out the way. Now I'm just going to go ahead and go to my blade tool, which is like my cut tool. It's going to splice, essentially. B on your keyboard. And then I'm going to move this up just a little bit, about right here. Click, 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 click. I'm going to make this selection right here, and we're going to take everything, delete this, take everything. Maybe let me go back all the way up to the top, and then delete. Now we have 17 seconds. Now a short can be no more than 60 seconds. That's from my understanding, but there's more to be done. As I take a look at my timeline, I notice it's a little bit hard to see. So what I need to do is zoom in, and there's a slider here. I'm going to zoom over to the right, or slide over to the right, and extend out my timeline. Now here are my audio settings. 1 is everything that goes to the stream. 2 is my microphone, and 3 is my game. 4 is my sounds, and 5 is my desktop audio. 6 is my alerts. And for this, all I need is a microphone and my game. So I'm going to get rid of 1 by Control left click. Get rid of 4, Control left click. Get rid of 5, Control left click. And 6, Control left click. Now what I need to do, Control X on your keyboard. That will empty out all the things that are unnecessary. Now I can go over inside my audio tracks, either or, it doesn't matter which one you select. Right click and go down to delete empty tracks. And that will get rid of everything else. Okay, so we're done on the audio side. On the video side, I need to left click on my one video source, Alt, left click, and drag up. What this allows me to do is create a duplicate. And in this duplicate, this is where I'm going to bring myself into the picture. Now, I have to go to the top right, and there's this thing that says transform. Your zoom is self-explanatory, but the thing I'm looking for now is the same composition, x-axis and y. The x-axis is left to right, y-axis is up and down. And bring myself in. There I am. Wonderful, beautiful man right there. No, we don't use the word beautiful. We use the word handsome. So let's go up on the y-axis so we get all the way up to the top. But I'm also going to zoom in because I want to be a little bit bigger here, right? And then just continue to manipulate. Get myself to a place where I feel comfortable with. And I feel pretty good here. We're going to go up to the top as much as I can. And now we're going to go down to our game source, right? And this one I want to actually zoom out just a little bit, not too much. And then bring this thing down so that way I can get a little bit more real estate. And I could kind of get a gauge as far as like how much I can get in here. Let me zoom down a little bit more. So bam, I get a lot of real estate right now. Looks pretty good. Let's just say I'm done. All we have to do now is look at one other additional thing that I'm going to include for this presentation, and that's subtitles. So this is my audio from here. This is the microphone. So what I want to do, just because sometimes it could get a little bit funky, I'm going to mute my game source, at least my game audio. And I'm going to select my audio source. Now in here, there is an option. You go to, I believe it's timeline. Create subtitles from audio right here, Alt-P on your keyboard. And this will allow me to create subtitles. Now, what I normally use is a Netflix, and language I change out to English. You can leave it auto. You know, if you speak English, I think it'll pick it up. But here in the maximum I like to go down is about like 30. It just keeps the lines small, and we'll go out and create. It will analyze your audio data and put it in. Anytime now, bruh. So there we go. So here is our subtitles. What I normally do is I drag select on them all. And this is everything. Now you want to go through and make sure you play your sounds. You play the short, because this thing doesn't always pick it up 100% perfect, if that makes any sense. Now, just for presentation purposes, I'm going to bring this down just so that way we can all see. Hold left click and select everything, all our subtitles. And now we can select ones that we want, and it will show you what it is. Let me go to my track. I would change the color to yellow. Just easier to see. And then also I would decrease the size. So from here, I can click inside, like hold left click, and either move my mouse left or move it right. I could do it that way. There's a slider here that you can control and manipulate. It's up to you. Or you could just type in a number that you might feel comfortable with. 32 looks a little small to me, so we're going to move in a little bit more. And I'm also going to change the position. So you can do the same thing, move it up on the y-axis. So that way it's a lot easier to see, right? Now let's go ahead and make sure everything else looks similar. Now this here, you can tell it's a little bit harder to see. In situations like this, we can also put in I feel like a background would be good. See, this works. So yeah, you can put in a background. It has a nice little bit of opacity to it. You can change the color if you want to, but it helps to, let's say, pop out that yellow. So that way it's a little bit more visible. Okay, so it looks like everything is good. And it's did it for every one of our subtitle tracks. And sometimes when you just like here, when it goes from left to right, what I would normally do is go in, select inside, enter. And this will create, just keep everything a little bit more centered so that way your viewer's eyes can stay where everything is at, as opposed to looking all over the place. And now you're good to go. All you have to do is go and export. In order to export, there's this option here down the bottom that says deliver. Hit that. And because everything is already done with our vertical resolution, all we have to do now is just put it in. You could do QuickTime. You could do, there's a lot of different options here. I normally go with MP4. AV1 is a beautiful codec if you have access to it. But I noticed, especially with 4K, AV1 codec as far as a vertical resolution doesn't necessarily work too well. It doesn't go through. So for instances when it's 4K, I normally go either H.264, H.265. 1080p, you could do AV1. It's worked for me before. But in this instance, let's just go with H.265. If you have subtitles, you want to make sure you go down to your subtitle settings and click on Export Subtitle. Normally, I have mine set to burn into video. And then you add to your render QA. And you could go anywhere you want in here. Into your computer, you set it, and then you hit render, and you're good to go. One of the reasons why I don't use OBS Vertical plugin is because you can't do any edits. What you capture is what you capture. So I'd rather capture the full screen of things. So let's say I want to incorporate, let's say my hub pool into the short. I could do that. All I have to do is just make a duplicate and just crop and then incorporate it in. You can't do anything with your vertical resolution. Streaming is fine, but as far as making content, do it like, shorts. No, I'm not doing that. But that's entirely up to you because everybody needs is different. And I hope you guys like the video. Heck, think about giving me a like and subscribe. I appreciate that. And, if there's something else like you actually want a tutorial to how to use OBS Vertical Resolution plugin, then let me know. Until then, make sure you guys take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And I hope to catch you in the next one. Later, guys. And happy creating.